Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning or good afternoon from wherever you are watching us from. My name is Jesse Ainebiona, and I warmly welcome you to the Inspired Family Leader Program, a program that is here to encourage, empower, and enable men to step up their leadership in their homes and become better and greater leaders to their families. Tonight, we shall be discussing an amazing subject. But before we get into that, a little bit about me. Like I said earlier, I'm Jesse Ainebiona, professionally trained as a mechanical engineer, currently an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a trainer. I am serving as the Training and Development Associate for Inspired Leaders International, an international leadership development firm that empowers leaders to transform nations. I am the president of Toastmasters International, an international organization that empowers people to become more effective communicators and leaders. I am also a family man, and I'm excited about that. My wife is called Diana. Together we have been married for 8 years, and together we have 2 daughters, Ruby and Mariah. Ruby is 6 and Mariah is 4. Tonight we shall be discussing men and special days. Men, did you know, for example, that the 19th of November is the International Men's Day? Did you know that? Now you know. But why do these days go by and almost no one gets to know? Hardly anyone celebrates a day like that. And yet there are days that cannot pass us by. Tonight we shall be discussing the topic of men and special days. And together with me in the studio, I have a gentleman, Mr. Charles Yakani. Charles, yes. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the leadership that you are offering to men in the ministry of Fathers Union.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm glad to offer leadership.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell us more about yourself. Who is Charles Yakani?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Yes, Charles Yakani is my name. I'm a married man and a family man, for that matter. I've been married for 16 years, this year making 17, to one woman. My wife is called Victoria Yakani. Oh, sorry. My wife is called Victoria Yakani, who is the queen. I call her my queen, my sweetie, my honey. Those are the kind of words that you need to use for such the special ladies in your lives. Okay. So mine is I usually call her honey. Okay. So Victoria Yakani. We have 3 children. One is Daniel Atiki. He is 14, making 15 this year. Then I have a princess, the second born. She's called Naomi Anika Unyi. And then another princess whom the nickname is Daddy Sunshine. Daddy Sunshine is 8 years. The interesting thing about our children is that their birthdays follow one another, you know. And since we're talking about special days and days you should not forget, you know, their birthdays, because they follow each other, they are very easy to remember. Yes, Daniel, 9th of June. Okay. And Naomi, 10th of June. And then Beza, the last born, who is 8, Emanuela Kisache, 11th of June. Wow. Right. So very mathematical.
You'll tell us the formula later on. Yes. We want to know the formula. But
so I serve at St. Kakumba Chapel in ministry. I am the chairman of Fathers Union for St. Kakumba Chapel. And then also at the Diocese of Kampala, I am the vice president of Fathers Union. Yes, so that's the ministry that I'm very passionate about. And I think we will be talking, when we talk about men, definitely Fathers Union obviously comes to mind for me as a man. In terms of training, I am a trained teacher. Okay, my first degree was in education. I'm a scientist, physics and math. Then later on I branched into ICT and education. So I'm an educationist by training. At the moment I'm an ICT consultant. working with cyber school technology solutions.
Okay.
But I also do consultancy in the field of e-learning.
Yes.
So that's my specialty as Charles Yakani.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great to know you, Charles.
Thank you.
Great to connect with you in the work that you're doing, both at family level, but also in the professional world.
Thank you.
And already in your introduction, you alluded to the fact that your children's birthdays are easy to remember because they follow each other.
Exactly.
I mean, I can also remember them now.
Yeah.
9th of June, 10th of June, and 11th of June.
Absolutely.
What is the secret behind?
I think it's God. Yeah, because there's nothing very special we did
Yes.
to ensure that really the dates followed each other.
Yes.
But of course, the first one was 9th of June. And then by God's grace,
Yes.
things just happened, you know?
Yes.
Things just happened that the next one should be on 10th of June.
Okay.
And then the next one, 11th of June.
All
So
right.
it's God's plan, really. I
Yes.
didn't do anything very special to
Wow.
do that, to have that. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
9th, 10th,
11th, exactly.
not even 9th, 11th,
No.
10th, no.
Chronologically.
Chronologically.
So it makes celebrations. I
Yes.
think later we'll be talking about dates that should not be forgotten.
Yes.
It makes celebration of their anniversaries or the birthdays very easy.
Yes.
You just agree, okay, this year let it be on
Yes.
so and so's date.
Oh, so
next
that's
year,
how you do it.
So we have one big cake with 3 names, and it makes life simple.
It's also
nice.
very economical, you know.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Where we all gather and celebrate.
Yeah.
We agree that today
We
this
agree.
one is on hosting us.
Exactly.
Next year it will
It
be
will be
then
this one.
the other, then we come back
Yeah,
to this one.
Yeah.
So tell me, talking about that, what are some of the days you consider special in your life?
Yeah, special days. The first one, obviously, is my birthday.
Is it also in June?
No, mine is one month to Christmas. So
Wow.
yeah, one
Okay.
month to Christmas. Again,
Okay.
very not difficult to
remember.
To remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my birthday, then my wife's birthday. That's a very important date.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, May 15th. That
May
one,
15th.
it's criminal to
Please,
forget.
the sun must come to a standstill.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly that one. And then my children's birthday, definitely.
Yes.
The obvious one for everyone, Christmas is a very important family day.
Yes.
So I think those among the many are pretty critical for me. And then my anniversary, wedding anniversary,
Yes.
is another very important day that I cannot forget.
Yes.
9th of September. So again, it's easy to
9/11.
remember. 9th of September.
Wow.
No, 9th September.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So those are important days in my
Yes.
life. Yeah.
And today we are going to be looking at this in 2 segments. The first segment, we shall be looking at men's involvement in important days, like Charles has already mentioned. And in the second segment, we shall be looking at society's involvement in men's days. So men, look out for that, because that's something you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
So Charles, have you ever forgotten your wife's birthday? Remind me, you said you've been married for?
16 years.
16 years.
Yep.
In 16 years.
Making 17th on 9th of September.
September.
Yeah. Yeah.
So has it ever happened that one of these 16 years, or even before, have you ever forgotten her birthday?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yes. I really purpose not to forget.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It got ingrained in my memory that I should not not forget. Yes. So
Yes.
it got ingrained there that I shouldn't forget that date. So
Yes.
I haven't forgotten.
You haven't forgotten?
Not one day in the 16 years that we've been married. Yeah.
So what's the secret to not forgetting?
Yeah.
Because men are busy.
Very
Men
true.
have Man U and Arsenal to watch. They have they have politics to, oversee. They have so many things keeping them busy. What's the secret?
Being a secret, I think now that releasing it is going to cause me problems.
Scissors
But
to be a secret.
it has to be a secret. Yeah. But as I said, it's ingrained in my memory.
Yes.
And again, being an IT person, I
I usually have events.
Yes.
Events are scheduled in calendars.
Yes.
So I have a calendar that is live. So all things that I need to do are live in my calendar.
Wow.
And I set reminders.
Wow.
So most definitely I won't forget because I know a reminder will come 24 hours to the date.
Yes.
So maybe that's the secret.
Yeah.
Apart from being ingrained in my memory.
Yes.
But yes, the diary helps a lot.
True.
It helps a lot in
True.
that area. Yeah.
I think that's something important because someone mentioned, by the way, very interesting thing that one of the functions of the brain is to forget. So in that sense, therefore, I think it helps to have a system that is going to help you to remember. Because before you know it,
the day has come.
the day has come.
Boom, and you're forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let me confess. Let me confess.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, it was my wife's birthday. Now, of course, I'd been looking forward to the day. The day before, I even wished her a happy birthday for the following day. So what happens is on that day, there is some work I was doing that completely got me. It came to my mind at around midday.
Okay.
It came to my mind at around midday that today is someone's birthday.
Okay.
So in the same way, if
okay.
if you depend on your brain.
So how did you survive?
No, what made me survive is I had wished her a birthday before, the day before. So she knew that, yeah, we are in the thing.
Okay.
Yes. So, but that's very important. Men, let's have a system.
Yeah.
Diarize those days.
Exactly.
Don't take it for granted. While you think you know it, you might actually forget it.
Yeah.
You might get overrun by work and the day comes and passes and she is thinking, I thought
this guy knew me.
This guy
but
knew
he
me.
doesn't. Yeah.
And something happens and guess what? Just like that,
exactly.
you might quite easily forget.
That's true. I agree.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah. And the Bible also, there's this study Bible that has got important dates at the back.
Yes.
So that I have that. It was our wedding gift actually.
Yes.
So I also put all the dates there.
Yes.
And if you open your Bible every day, then definitely you will see those
You will
dates.
see
So
those
it's
dates.
the other way also. Of
Very
remembering.
true.
Yeah.
So don't take anything for granted. Organize those dates, diarize them. While you think it is 7th of January,
Before you know
it might turn out to be 8th of January.
True.
So you wish someone a happy birthday, yet it has already
Belated.
passed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tonight on the program, we have yet another amazing guest. One of the few ladies that has appeared more than once on the program.
Sure.
Evas, I know that you are very passionate about families.
Yeah.
And of course, men are at the center of the work that you do.
Sure.
Tell us more about yourself and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Nice to be here once again. I think this is like my 4th time. And I'm glad to be here to talk about what I love most.
Yes.
My name is Evas Kansiime Nalongo. And I am a family or marriage therapist, a psychologist.
Yes.
And the work I do is I focus on strengthening families.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Evas.
Sure.
I like that line. I focus on strengthening families.
Strengthening families.
Yeah, no matter how strong you are, you can be stronger.
Yeah.
Thank you. Evas, today we are talking about men and special days. And there is a lot about certain days, but then there are also those days that just come and pass us by.
Yeah.
So Evas, what are some of the days that are special in your life?
My birthday.
Interesting. That was exactly what Charles mentioned.
Yeah, my birthday.
Yes.
Our wedding anniversary.
Okay.
And my husband's birthday.
Okay. Is that the order or?
No order,
Okay.
but I think my birthday first.
Okay.
Self-love.
No. Yes. You cannot give what you don't have. If you don't love yourself, how will you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Great. And has it ever happened that you forgot any special day? Have you ever forgotten your husband's birthday?
I don't forget my husband's birthday. I think I've celebrated my husband's birthday since the time of dating. And I'll not say this. I remember that I'm on TV, so I'll not give so much detail. Yeah, but I remember even when we were dating, I was on purpose to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he did mine as well.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you feel if he ever forgot your birthday?
Well, he hasn't.
He hasn't.
Good. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't, although the level of celebration varies
Diminishes.
from. Very interesting. I think it increases as we live together. It's an interesting trend.
Yeah.
Because I think on my part, the value that I attach to a birthday, for me, it seems to be reducing. But for him, he really celebrates. My birthday is December 31st.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Hard to
Yeah.
forget.
Yes.
Hard to forget.
Yeah.
The whole world celebrates your
The
birthday.
whole world celebrates my birthday.
Yeah, with fireworks.
With fireworks.
Merrymaking.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's really, really good with celebrating my birthday.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Evas, whenever a mother forgets a birthday of a child, it's a surprise.
It is.
But in contrast, when a father celebrates a child's birthday or remembers it, it is also a surprise. Because in most cases, fathers don't remember these things.
Yeah.
What trick do you think fathers can use to remember their children's birthdays?
So before we talk about trick, you see, we are talking about special days and all this, and
Yes.
we're talking about celebrating life.
Yes.
And celebration of life. I've been talking about these things. Life is about celebration, but celebration is something we have been nurtured to have.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. Everything that concerns the soft part of life, men have been left on the side. And I know families where, for instance, their boys have been nurtured to believe or conditioned to believe that birthdays those are women's things, those are, that. And it's very sad. It's absolutely sad.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes I think we are putting an expectations on men, an expectation on men, or a heap of expectations on men for things we've not trained them to do. All of life is about training.
So we're expecting men to do something
to do things
that they have not been trained to do.
they haven't been trained to do. You see, we create time for things we value.
Yes.
So if someone has grown to devalue to devalue celebration, and they say, oh, those things are just for women, just women love feeling good, and then men haven't been nurtured or trained to know that life is celebrated, and that this is an opportunity to give. And as a psychologist, I'll tell you, all these things like celebration, acts of kindness, all these things that are the soft part of life, that's where happiness is. But now we've raised men to derive happiness from hardware things, from money, just make money, and they don't even know what to do with it. So they've missed out on this soft part. And so I think we just need to help men know that actually all these things, and train our children. Some of my colleagues here, our generation, most of them, unfortunately, and I feel sad about it, most men have missed out on things that really that spice up life. Because we've said, you be a man, and we haven't even told them how to be a man.
A man is not supposed
just
to cry.
Be hard, be rough, be and so they've missed out. So my advice, as you asked, is to say, men, just know these are things, this is where we derive what we call happiness hormones. We activate happiness hormones. And so if you don't celebrate, you don't give gifts. I know men who say, me, I don't give gifts. Those things are not for us. I didn't do it. And you hear men keep referring to how their father did, their grandfather did. And it tells you that they missed out on a bigger part of life's training.
That's true.
So
thank you. But I think, as you say that, I'm one of those men who quite frankly, I don't remember a celebration of my birthday growing up.
Yeah.
True.
And I don't blame my parents.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
the best they could.
Yeah.
And probably they did what they could
Yeah.
the best way they knew how.
Yep.
Yeah.
So growing up for me, celebrating birthday, quite frankly, was not a priority. Thankfully, God blessed me with a wife who celebration is
that.
everything. Everything they celebrate, everything.
Yeah.
Someone gets even a job interview to the second level. Oh, we need to celebrate. We need to have lunch for this achievement.
Yeah.
So I have now learned to slow down and celebrate. And I think one of the most important things about celebration is it builds memories.
It does.
Yeah.
Children may not remember quite much about what we give them, but they will never forget the memories.
Exactly.
Like Maya Angelou said, people may forget what you did and what you said, but they will
How
never
you
forget how you made them feel.
Feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles,
Yeah.
thinking about something. Usually when it's visiting day, sports day, these swimming galas, it's the mothers who go. Because the men are busy working. What's your what's your message to fathers in this regard?
I think it builds on from what Evas has just said.
Yes.
You know, the training, the belief that, you know, there are certain things that it's supposed to be is the mother doing. Those are not things for us.
Yeah.
So, you know, men, we should be doing other things. And it's sad. It's sad, but that's the reality in most cases.
Yes.
But I think right now there is a bit of improvement in, especially when you do the urban and rural setting, and also the elite, a bit of elite discrimination, I should say so. Right now in most schools, urban elite schools, if there is a visitation or there is a sports gala, there is something, there's now more involvement of the men.
Yes.
It's not enough.
Yes.
That's true. It's not really enough, but it is. It's something that I think as men we need to take up seriously, because, you know, visiting, when you are a father and you're visiting, you're going to your child's school, there is a certain communication that you send to the child, that, you know what, my daddy thinks and my daddy cares about me. He cares about what I do in this school.
Yes.
And especially if it is a sporting activity and you go there cheering them up as they are, you know, they feel good factor, the things that you are talking about, the experiences that they get, absolutely amazing. They get ingrained in their minds.
True.
You know, so they'll not forget. They are running around the race course as they are running, cheering them on. It gives them a lot of self-confidence and building their morale. So that's a very important thing that I think as fathers we really need to be part of. And also, you see, when you go to school, you go to meetings.
True.
In meetings, you're going to meet your child's class teacher, for example, or the matron, you know, house master. Now, if you as a father, you're always absent, there's the component of discipline that you're supposed to ingrain in the child.
True.
Now that misses out, because then the child, you know, I can get away with something. But if the father, you're a father figure, you come and you know God has given you that authority that you know you are responsible for this.
True.
And when you come and you're always there, the child will know that, you know, daddy is coming.
Yes.
And any mischief,
Daddy.
there'll be feedback to daddy. You know,
Sure.
so that brings it ensures that the child, it instills the discipline in the child, that, you know, daddy will know that is coming, and so that is something I think we as fathers, I'm speaking to the fathers out there, that we really need to get more involved. You know, we need to get more involved in the growth of our children. We need to know how they are behaving in school. You know, we need to know their strengths so that we can be able to encourage them. And you can only do that when you actually participate. You're present. So it's being present, being involved. So I think that's what I would like to appeal to our fathers out there.
There's a parenting concept, and I think it ties in well with what you've said, that children get their self-image from what they believe their father thinks about them. So if the father is there, children get their self-image from what they believe their dad thinks about them. There are children who are still, now many years later, even now with their own families, they are still trying to gain approval
from their
father.
Yeah.
He did so well in class, but the father never approved him. Even
Not
on the job
well
today,
done.
he's still working so hard to get some approval, to fill the void that was left, by his father. So, fathers, if you're present, if you are there for your child's concert, if you are there watching them deliver that poem, if you are there watching them crossing the finishing line on the sports day, if you're there watching them finishing that race in the swimming competition, and you give them that pat on the back and say, well done, my son, those might be the best words they ever hear from anybody. Why not from you? Why should they get them from the swimming coach? Why should they get them from their sports master? Why not from you, their father? Because you are the only father your children will ever have. Evas, there is a man out there whose wife's wedding anniversary is just round the corner. Give him kasasi. Yeah, give him a bullet. Give him a tip.
On the state of the marriage. So once again, we go to the concept of celebration.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how issues are running in this marriage, what you're dealing with, just celebrating that anniversary is medicinal, if I may say. And so I just want to encourage. This is not just for women, to be honest with you. It's not just for your wives. It's for you. And we, as a psychologist, I tell people we need to refill. We need, because we deplete. We deplete through emotionally, through conflict, through busyness of life, through all sorts of things. And so whenever we have a moment to say, oh, thank you, oh, this is good, that gratitude, that's how people get happy. Now, I know Uganda hasn't done a national happiness survey, but I'm sure would score so low on that, because every person you meet is complaining. But you see, we are never deliberate about activating happiness. And so if you want to give your marriage another opportunity to be okay, just celebrate such things. I'm a marriage therapist, and whenever I get someone come in and say, oh, our marriage, I ask them, what do you do? And what don't you do? What do you think you need to do that you're not doing? And so one of them is celebration of these important days. So I want to encourage men out there, please surprise your wife, but also surprise yourself. This is for you. This is you're just refilling your emotional levels and increasing your emotional deposit. So go for it. I like the point you mentioned there about celebrate yourself. You know, many times we buy things for other people, but then we don't buy for ourselves. We don't buy for ourselves. So one of my resolutions this year is to buy myself nice things. Shoes, nice shirts. You know, because at the end of the day, why are we working? Don't just buy things because the ones you have gone old. There is a vibe that comes with new things. Self-love. That's happiness. So we need to be very, very intentional about activating happiness. We know how to be unhappy, but we don't know how to be happy. And sometimes when we want to be happy, we be happy the wrong way. You engage in things that actually refill your stress bucket.
Very true.
So go for it.
So we need to be intentional about activating happiness. That's a nice one. I think it's a good place for us to just take a short break. Coming up after the break, we shall be looking at how the world is getting involved in men's days. But also, before we get into that, we shall be talking a bit about paternity leave. What does that mean for a man out there? What are you supposed to do? What can you do about it? What can you do in that time that they give you as paternity leave? Men, let us activate happiness. Let us be intentional on activating happiness. Life is in the simple things. We look for happiness in the most complex of things, but the simple things are the ones where we can find the happiness that we are seeking. Charles, tell me something. This concept of paternity leave, Do men need it? And if so, why? Tell me more.
Yes, great question. And I remember not long ago there was a heated debate in a forum where I'm part about the same question, whether men need paternity leave. And personally, I thought it was a no-brainer that most definitely we do. And then of course the discussion went on, and then I realized, oh, okay, there are men out there who actually do not use the days for what they are meant to be. Paternity leave. You know, if we go to the act, yes, we are supposed to have 4 days, 4 working days, and prescribed as when your wife has given birth or has miscarried.
Okay, very true.
And you've asked me whether men do need, most definitely. Actually, we need more. You know, we need more days than just those 4 only, because there's so much that needs to be done, especially around that time. Yes, we need to do a lot more, but especially when your wife gives birth, or she has miscarried, and that's when she needs your support most as a husband.
Yes.
You know?
Tell me more about that. How can they utilize it?
You know?
Or how can we utilize it?
Yes. You know, the first thing, of course, when your wife is in hospital, for example, usually the law says just before, maybe a day, you should start your paternity leave a day or so before, and then up to when you're discharged.
Yes.
Now imagine if your wife gives birth by C-section, not normally, for example. That's where my argument would be to even have more days.
Yes.
What do you need to do there? You know, at that point of life and death, of giving birth is really about life and death, you know, and there's a lot of energy loss, there's blood loss, right? There's strength that has been sucked out of the body of this beautiful woman that you call your wife, right? So much has gone out of her. And what you need to do as a father or as a husband is really to stand by her and support her. What are the things you can do? Interestingly, you can even wash, by the way.
Yeah.
As a husband, you need to be able to help her wash, because how do you expect your wife, who has just lost a lot of blood, lost a lot of energy, to even go and do cooking, to go and wash the dishes, to go and wash clothes? Now, those are things that, as a husband, at that particular time, it is something that you need to do as a husband. I'm more inclined to the C-section because my own wife gave birth by C-section.
Okay.
All our 3 children. And of course, cultures have it, not mine, have it. There are our colleagues who find it easy by saying, okay, the wife has given birth, she first goes to the mother, stays there 2 months, 3 months, and then comes home. Now, that's not how it works with me, you know. So now, if there are those men out there like myself, if your wife has come home, it's Caesar. So who washes the little things? Who washes for her? There is a wound. Who helps her to heal? You know, there's the pain there.
Yes.
Who helps her to heal?
Yes.
That's my responsibility as a husband. I need to do that.
Yes.
You know, and then there's the baby. You know, there are things that wives go through a lot. The baby is crying. She is weak. Now, as a father, you should be responsible to pick this baby.
Yes.
To feed this baby, to know how to, you know. It's a beautiful learning experience, by the way. When you do that as a father at that particular moment, it even enables you to bond with this baby.
Very true.
You know, it creates a bond.
Very true.
Yeah, so those are the little things you should do.
Yes.
Do a little bit of washing, support. If it is a Caesar, men, bathe your wife.
Yes.
Man. Just wash her.
Yes.
You know, she needs that support.
Your wife.
So she's your wife.
Yeah.
You know, nobody is going to do that apart from yourself.
Very
if she
true.
doesn't have the energy, that's where we come in. So those are the things personally,
Yes.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I did those. So, and it helps you to learn how to handle the baby. For example, you know, this 1 day, 2 day, 3 day old baby, how do you hold that baby?
Yes.
So you need to be able to learn as a father how to handle the baby, the position that the baby should be, place to sleep, what time the baby is needs the milk, and there's another thing I learned on the job because of wanting to help my wife. There are times when the milk is too much and the baby doesn't want to take the milk. What do you do with the milk? So I learned in the first pregnancy, when we had our first baby, that there's something called expressing milk from the breast using a breast pump. Yeah, so those are things that you can help your wife do. You know, do you understand that?
Yes.
So those are the things, you know. So men need that paternity leave and more days, not just only 4. So for me, if it comes to advocating, I'm going to advocate for more days because really, if it is Caesar, 4 days will even end when you are still in the hospital. By the time she comes home, the days are over. So who is going to be? Where is the support system going to come from? So yes, we do need. Men do need.
Thank you. Evas, any additional pointers to what Charles has already mentioned?
I'm really proud of Charles. Thank you so much. And you have articulated it so well. But I just want to amplify the issue of bonding.
Yes.
You know, most men are wondering why children are not attached to them. Attachment, I'm speaking as a psychologist, attachment begins there. It even actually begins when the mother is still pregnant. You know, the way the dad relates, all that, there's a lot of psychology around it. But especially when a child is born, and a dad is connecting with a child, is bonding with a child through those, even playing and connecting and communicating. That's very important. Very, very important. So this child might not be talking, but they are actually connecting with the dad. And so just want to encourage dads, just to build on the message Charles has given, to say, please get involved at this point. And I really believe dads need more time. And you know, look, it just, the 4 days, I was looking at the 4 days, I'm like, who came up with this? So this is part of the bigger problem.
And moreover, for the ladies, it's 60.
It's 60.
So here we have 60 versus 4.
Exactly. So we are already giving a message that childbearing and upbringing processes are for moms. So even government, even the whole community, and unfortunately, most men have bought into this scam that nurturing a child and all these and these little processes are for moms. And I know men who when a wife gives birth, they say, go to another bedroom, just go there, don't make noise for me. Which is very sad. And they don't know that they are detaching from the children. Then later on they want to connect with the child, and the child has nothing to do with them. So this really he has said, but I just wanted to amplify that and say, men, just seize this opportunity to connect with your child. Because attachment issues, relationship issues begin at that point. And so when a baby is seeing you right from when they are born, that's very important.
Very true. And I think also for men, many times some men say the wife is now focusing more on the child than on them. But I think if a man is more involved, then they would never have an issue of that kind.
I was in church this afternoon, and somebody was talking and saying, oh, women, when you give birth, don't forget your husband. I'm asking, where are the husbands?
Where are the husbands?
It should be
in this equation.
It should be part of the process. And then you know, what is very annoying is, and honestly, let's clear some of these misconceptions. So this was the message. Men, wives, when you get to a baby, don't forget your husband. And when when you forget him, then he becomes vulnerable and he can be stolen. And I'm thinking, I don't know when we are going to get over this whole stolen, like
stealing husband.
Stealing a man. Yes. Like a man is there, a leader of a family to be stolen.
Yes.
So I really think. I really think we need to encourage. You see, this is not just a job for the mom.
Yes.
And as you have perfectly articulate, there's a lot to do.
Yes.
Now, I mean, you will never be in our place to understand how much agony we go through. It just makes it sweet and bitter because, like he has talked about cesarean, like a mom has gone through this. They are in pain. They have wounds, but then they have this baby. The baby is crying. They have to feed and then just imagine. At that moment, you're saying, don't forget me, I'm also here. Like, are you
for real?
So this is something, this is a partnership.
Yes.
This is where this whole partnership is. And if dads could get in and enjoy the opportunity to serve and be a blessing to the wife at this point, that's invariable. I'll tell you, it's just invariable. So I think we cannot overemphasize it.
Very true. So men, don't let your role only stop at participating in making the baby. You also participate in raising the baby. Yes, be part of the process. That way you will not feel left out. That way you will bond more with your child. That way you will be of great service to your wife. That way you will be more of a leader in the home than one who expects to be served.
Man.
Can I just give just in addition to I just remembered like an experience from my own life. Our firstborns were twins.
Okay.
Wow.
And just imagine first time mom, twins. Wow. Good enough. It was it was a normal birth.
Okay.
But I cannot tell you how helpful my husband was. Wow. And to be honest with you, I didn't bathe these children until they were 1 year.
Wow.
Okay.
He just did that. He bathed them before he went to work.
Yeah.
He came back, and they are very, very close.
Wow.
So sometimes we don't know where this is coming from, but it's that
The
attachment,
connection.
the connection.
Yeah.
And he was extremely helpful to me, to the little babies, to like everything. So we just need to do that. And of course, these are experiences that create attachment even in our relationship. Because an act of service, an act of kindness is a love language. And so when you do that, your wife gets the sense that you're actually human enough.
Very true.
And you're loving and you care and you value them.
Yes.
So it is very, very important that men don't just go on the side and go like, some men compete with the children.
Yes.
They actually negotiate with the wife and they go like, now that you've got children, don't forget me.
Yes.
Come on, like, really?
And then there are those men, instead of expressing the milk for the baby, they drink it.
That one.
Anyway.
Never even talk about it. It's shameful.
Let us segue this conversation into how society is getting involved in Men's Days. Now, you're going to realize that Mother's Day is 14th May. Oh my goodness. That day, the world celebrates Mother's Day. I'm told in the US, that could be the second most celebrated day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But come to think about it, Father's Day is on 18th June. 18th June goes by and the only thing you will probably see is a certain post somewhere which was not even shared. Why is this the case, Charles? Why is it that these days, Mother's Days, a lot of attention? In fact, there are two, one for England and the one for the UK, another one for the US. But Father's Day, sweet.
To be honest, I need to confess that I have no idea why it is so. Even at a personal level, it's not long ago that I actually realized that there is that day.
Father's Day, you know? Me too. I think I got to know about last year.
Yeah. So what could be the cause? Publicity. Yeah. I think publicity is one. I think people have, those who, where it started, the historical perspective of it, I think they have, there's a lot of attachment to the importance and the value, I think, of motherhood in the upbringing of a child. I think that takes us back to that belief then that, you know, the upbringing of the child, the attachment that people have to child upbringing was mother. And therefore there's this big responsibility that mothers have, and therefore it needs to be celebrated. We go back to the concept of celebration. I think it came from there. And therefore, because in most cases we as fathers probably because of our absentee nature in the upbringing of the children, we shouldn't take away the responsibility of those who have done their bit. We shouldn't take it away from them, but majority who haven't, maybe that could be the reason. I think that's my honest opinion, that I think it's because of that, the lack of involvement of parents, especially the fathers, and therefore the lack of celebration, not celebrating fatherhood at that particular moment, then made the day not really to be so popular among people. That's my feeling, I think.
But you want to add thoughts to that, and also thinking about.
And to be honest with you, I think this just speaks to the whole big problem that we have. I'll go back to the point I made earlier. I think society has given mixed messages about the importance of men. So on one side, we're saying men are very important. But as you say, the trend continuously gives a message that men are not as important, which is very damaging, absolutely damaging. And I hope these programs and more, we can actually bring life to the life of men. Because I don't know which society is going to stand without men. Now, this is, to me, it's part of the whole bigger problem. The last time I was here, we were talking about the role of men in families and in the lives of children. And I just want to just mention a few. For instance, men are symbols of authority. You know?
That's true.
They are symbols of authority. They are source of stability for children. They help children to develop a special skill called risk-taking, which is very important. But also, children learn leadership from dads. From dads. And so, just imagine, this is core to the life of a person.
Very true.
And then we just leave dads. And does it surprise you that most of them are also saying, oh, my role is just to provide and to provide money. That's all. Because we have left them out. So I think, and it begins at family level. Any of us who has a son, let's teach sons that actually they are just part of the whole process. Because we just keep amplifying women, and we've made it a whole emotional issue. So and we've left out men. So I think at family level, at community level, at government and intergovernment, wherever, global level, we need to know that men are important and we need to celebrate them, and we need to give a lot of attention to Father's Day as much as Mother's Day. And which messages are we giving? Now, you've heard all these songs, oh, mama, and like, where is a song for men? You understand? And so, by the way, these are some of the subtle ways in which we continue we keep just pushing.
So we say they are important, but we are saying about...
they are important. And again, I wish we were just keeping quiet. But you know, when a message on a man is coming up, it's most likely negative. I see some of these WhatsApp little jokes about men. I saw a joke where they said, oh, a child was asked, to name 3 animals that move in the night. They said a rat, a cockroach, and
daddy.
And then people say, that's not for laughing.
Yes.
No.
That is a damaging message
To the men.
To the men. And a number of other messages. So why don't we have a day like Father's Day and we say, look, dads are important.
Great dads.
This is the great role of a dad. This is very important.
Yes.
So,
Awesome.
Totally agree.
Great.
I totally agree.
Absolutely. As we bring this discussion in for a landing, Charles, you are involved with the Fathers Union Ministry.
Yeah.
And I know that in 1993, the UN declared the 15th of May as the International Day for Families to raise awareness on issues faced by families.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you think groups like Fathers Union can do on such a day?
15th of May.
Yeah.
I think picking from what Evas has just said, we need to begin the process of amplifying the role and the importance of fathers in bringing up families, in building the family unit. So as Fathers Union, I think that is what we need to begin shouting about. So it begins at the family level. Then it comes to the community. What are the things that we can do together as a family? What can we do together and really shout about it? That fathers were here, fathers were doing this, fathers, this is our role, fathers, this is our responsibility. So we need to shout about it. So as Fathers Union, they in my own small way, for us, we want to look at things that bring us together as families. The simplest one is, for example, Family Sports Day. In the church for us. Family Sports Day. We go out, we celebrate as a family, children, parents all come together and we go and play. When you play together, there is the feel-good factor is triggered in sports, by the way. True. Sports relieves stress. Sports brings about happiness, and then you also bond. The togetherness, the teamwork, all those are brought out. So if we can, as Fathers Union, try to amplify the things, some of those activities, in order to amplify the day for fathers, I think that would be great. I love that. And then, of course, things to do with parental seminars, and we need to come together and talk about these things. And when we invite people like Evas to come and talk about this to us as parents, fathers, children, mothers together, I think we begin to build a momentum towards amplifying the day. That this is a very important day that we should not forget, and we should not forget the fathers.
Very true.
And then eating out, of course. Yes, eating out together. Going out
very
for
yes.
That's where some of the love language is triggered there. It builds a strong family.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a great discussion this evening, and as way of conclusion, Evas, what message would you like to leave with a man out there or a lady out there that has been watching the show? We have talked about celebration. We've talked about, making men, putting them back to their place. A few parting shots.
Number one, celebrating men.
Yeah.
But, we celebrate something with value. I just want to start there. We need to understand the important role of that man in the family.
Sure.
Very important. Please don't look at them in terms of money. Men in families, they come in with so much that we cannot put a money value to.
Yes.
And I know why I'm saying this, because as a therapist, I know where the trends are going. Some women are just quantifying their husbands in terms of money, and they go like, do I still need a man? A man is a very important person in society and a pillar in families. So please value them. And men who are in families, please just know that you're stronger, you're more important than you thought. And so don't allow the winds of life these days to to give you a message contrary to what it is.
Sure.
And secondly, I just want to encourage men, please celebrate life. Just get over this whole notion of just be a man, be rough, be just celebrate life and be happy, because you're trendsetters of generations. And so you need to give your families a sense of celebration, and then everyone will celebrate.
Great. So let us celebrate men, and men celebrate life. Charles, parting shots to our viewers out there.
Thank you. I think in the same breath, really, I want to encourage my fellow men. The important days that we have just talked about, they're days that we should never forget. And as Evas has already said, we should celebrate those important days. Beautiful life and long life lies in the little things, in celebrating the small things. So we shouldn't be looking out for the big things when the little things that will bring happiness to us are right around us. And let us value our wives. And I'm very passionate about the paternity days. Let us take those paternity days as men and use them to support our wives, and not to sit and watch TV and ask for food when you're seated. And yet you're supposed to support your wife during that time. So let us support our wives during the paternity days that we have been given, and we shall advocate for more.
Thank you. Awesome discussion, amazing insights, insightful discussion happening here at Family TV. We've been talking about men and special days. I hope the men out there, we have been equipped, we have been empowered, we have been challenged to take those days seriously. Let us go and build memories. Remember what we said earlier, that people may forget what you did, they may forget what you said, but your children, your wife will never forget how you made them feel. Let us make them feel special by remembering their special days. It has been the Inspired Family Leader Program. Jesse Ainebiona, your host for tonight. It's been a pleasure hosting Evas and Charles, and looking forward to yet another conversation. All the best, cheers and blessings.